Welcome back to Dynamics. Okay, so WrestleMania is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, two nights again. So I'm going to give my predictions and overall feelings about the show. I'm excited. This is my second favorite event of the year. I think Royal Rumble's a better, funner event, but WrestleMania is super exciting. So let's get into it. I am going off the match lists from the Bleacher Report website, and then also they give their predictions too. So I'll give my predictions. I'll scroll down. And I'll see what their predictions are. And so also I'm gonna maybe make some hypothetical guesses, some booking things that aren't exactly predictions, but I think maybe might happen. So let's see how it goes. Uh, okay, so the first match they have listed is the Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio match. Um, I'm glad they got this on the card. They've been building towards it for a very long time. Um, Dominic Mysterio has been coming into his own as a character. I'm not the biggest fan of his wrestling. I think that still needs a lot of improvement. He probably should have gone to NXT. I know his dad trained him. I know some of the, some other members of the family and the friends helped train him. But I just think that he needs some fine tuning on his wrestling. But as a character, he's kind of coming into his own. Seems kind of interesting. And so because of that, and because Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame the night before, and he's getting close to retirement, past the mantle, that sort of thing, I have to say it's going to be Dominic Mysterio is going to take the win in this match. They're going to put him over, put him over strong. Maybe not strong, maybe kind of like heelish, like he may get some help or but they're going to put him over. He may even take his dad's mask. I could see him doing that, and moving forward as a character, having the mask, not wearing it, but having it as part of what gets people mad at him and gets him heat. But yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that Dominic Mysterio is going to take this match. And so let's see what Bleacher Report says. They say Ray. Okay, well, each their own. But there's no way. I'm almost 100% sure that Dominic is going to take this match. Okay, so let's see here. The next match is the men's WrestleMania showcase match, which is kind of like a filler match to get more people on the card. But it's a tag team, four-way tag team match, and so that's kind of good. I like seeing the tag teams get some love. Only problem is at least one of these is one of those Frankenstein teams. So it's not really a team, and the other team is about to break up. So, anyways, let's go into it. So we have Braun and we have Ricochet. That's the Frankenstein team. Um, they could have been a good team. They could have been, but I just really think that it's not for the long term. They're going to move back to singles matches. They're both good singles wrestlers and should be pushed a little bit more. And I think that's probably why they just threw them together, because they didn't really have anything for them right now. But I think both of them should be looking at, some main matches coming up in the relatively near future. So they will not be winning this match. I do believe the winner of this match is going to, or the winning team of this match is going to get a tag team title shot. Don't know that for sure. I don't know that that's actually a stipulation, but it just makes sense, which kind of points to who I think is going to win. All right, so Alpha Academy. Already thought they broke up. They were doing that whole storyline with Otis going to the male models and Gable being a singles wrestler again. And I think that's what they should do. I think Otis is a great comedy wrestler. I think he'll be great with the male models group. I think it's funny. I think it works. I can't take Otis seriously as a wrestler, even though he is pretty good, especially for his size. Like, he's stubby and like just thick. I think he actually moves around pretty well. He's pretty strong, and obviously his amateur background gives him some technical ability. But I think that he's just it's I can't take him seriously as a serious wrestler. I want to see him as a comedy wrestler, and I think he will be good. Moving on and doing that, and Gable needs to be taken serious as an actual contender. I think maybe not heavyweight, maybe down the line, but definitely like an IC or a U.S. title challenger. He should definitely be. We should be seeing him moving up in the card that way as a singles wrestler because he's very good. He's also small, so that's kind of rough. I think he's smaller than Kurt Angle, and that's the comparison is him and Kurt Angle. But I think he's just smaller and just kind of not the same. I don't think he's an entertaining character, so I can definitely see him holding his own on that department. But I don't think he'll be a world title contender. But I could be wrong. Hopefully. All right, the Street Profits, great team. Um, have not been booked very well lately. Montez Ford has been booked better as a singles wrestler, even though he loses some matches he probably shouldn't. Um, Dawkins is a really good singles wrestler also, but he's definitely it. So this is not like the Rockers where one is Shawn Michaels and one is Marty Jannetty. This is more like Edge and Christian where one is Edge, one of the greatest of all time, and one is Christian, also very good, definitely a world title, definitely deserving of his world titles, but just not quite at that level that Edge was, right? Both very good, very deserving. Montez Ford, Dawkins, both very deserving of whatever future, hands them. But I think Montez Ford is the bigger star. But all that being said, um, they probably should go more of the route of the New Day, where they never really break up. You don't have a feud between the two. They don't get mad at each other and break up, and but they go on and they do their own thing. But they always can come back together as a team. Everybody loves them, and they can back each other up in their matches sometimes. Um, so they'll be technically a team, but wrestling singles matches. I don't think they should have a feud with each other. I think it's more like the New Day. New Day should never feud with each other, never. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So I don't see them winning, and the last team, obviously, is the team that I see winning. If I don't see any of the other teams winning, that's the Viking Raiders. They have not been booked all that great, either in their first run or since they've come back. But I think it's time. They've had some big wins, some big pushes, but like not like a string, And I think that they definitely should be in the title picture. They're a great team, and if they can stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, I could see them getting the tag team titles back at some point in time, um, later in the year. Let's put it that way. And yeah, so that'll be that match. I see the Viking Raiders winning that. And let's see, Bleacher Report says they also think the Viking Raiders will win that match. All right, next match, the Women's WrestleMania Showcase. Um, and there's four teams again. This is even more of a Frankenstein team type of match because the women's tag team division is not very good. They need to work on that, and I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. So okay, so we have a tag team of Liv Morgan, and uh, yeah, Raquel Rodriguez. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot. She's going to be a world champion one of these days. Um, but right now, it's just not in the cards for her. And this tag team is just it's not a team. I don't see them winning. But yeah, I like them both. They're good, but I don't see them winning this match, and they shouldn't. You know, Eventually both of them can get feuds with that lead to titles. I think world titles because Liv can be back in the title picture at some point, and Raquel definitely should be at some point. The next team is Natalia and Shotzi. Again, not really a team. I don't know why they're wrestling together on this in this match. I think they just kind of threw them together and they won their entrant match. It just was weird. They don't fit together, and so yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't see them winning, of course. Um, and Natalia will hold her role until she's ready to retire. She won't be world champion again. I could see her being a women's tag team champion again at some point, but not in this team, not in this situation. um, Shotzi has a lot of room to grow. Interesting character. Her wrestling is not always where it needs to be. So there. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna win this match, and I don't think they're gonna stay a team. But I could be wrong about the staying a team part. Um, the Bleacher Report has the next tag team as unknown, but I think that's already been decided. I think it was Rachel, or sorry, not Rachel. What's her name? Chelsea Green. Um, for some reason, Carmella is not her tag team partner anymore because those two really did kind of fit together. It felt like, but instead they have put her with Sonya Deville, which kind of works. I could see them continuing forward as a team. Sonya Deville also is a very underappreciated talent. Doesn't get quite the push that she deserves. She's a talented fighter, a talented wrestler, and an interesting character and great style, of course. I like her style, how she dresses. Um, but yeah, I think she should get more. It's just not going to come here. I don't think they're going to win. That's the only other team that I could see winning this, unless they want to, go for the pop and have the good guys win, which would then be Liv and Raquel. But I don't see any of that happening. What I see happening is Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler winning this. They're the last team. They're going to win this match. That's almost 100%. They're going to win this match. And depending, because in this match, Ronda doesn't have to get too physical. It's a four-way tag team match. Ronda's not going to be wrestling very much. I don't know how healthy she is, but if she's healthy enough, I could see this resulting in them getting a tag team championship match, maybe even WrestleMania weekend. So this could be night one, and then a women's tag team match added to night two. That's one of my fantasy booking thoughts. If Ronda is healthy enough, I could kind of see them adding a match onto night two. I think there's room for a couple more matches on both night one and night two, and I think that could be possibly one of them. Not to mention the fact that the women's tag team titles are not being defended in that three on three match that we'll talk about later. So I could definitely see it turning into a championship match night two. Um, yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, that's my prediction. Ronda and uh, sorry, why did her name Baszler? Sorry, Rousey and Baszler is also who Bleacher Report says is going to win. So there you go. All right, the Intercontinental Championship match. I see this as being the first match of night two. The first match of night one is Theory and Cena. I think the main event of night one is going to be the Usos versus KO and Sami Zayn. I really see that's the match that's going to main event the night. Um, so I see this one being on night two, and I see it opening the show. It's obviously not going to main event night two. That's Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. But I could see this opening and just being one of the best matches of the weekend. I don't I'm not gonna say it's gonna steal the show because it's got so much hype. You really a match that steals the show is kind of like a match that maybe we weren't expecting to steal the show. This one we kind of expected to be like one of the best matches of the weekend. So yeah, first match night two. That's where I see this match happening. It's between Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and oh, sorry, Gunther. Yeah, Gunther is his new name. So, anyways, Gunther is gonna be wrestling the other two in the three-way for the Intercontinental Championship, and I see Gunther taking it in the end. There is a small possibility of them wanting to move Drew McIntyre up the card, and they use the IC title to do that, get him back into the picture, main event scene. Um, but I don't think so. Small chance, don't think so. More likely is Sheamus finally getting an IC title win, him being the IC champion. Um, but I don't see that happening either. Honestly, they're both very low possibility, but I think that's the order that I would see it is Most likely it's going to be Gunther. Slight possibility of it being Sheamus. A little less likely of it being Drew. But yeah, I think after a very, very hard hitting, very good match, Gunther takes the win. Let's see. What does. Yeah, so let's see what Bleacher Report says here. Gunther. Yeah, so Bleacher Report also thinks Gunther is going to retain. All right, so next match is Edge versus Finn Balor. Um, my understanding is it's supposed to be, the Brood Edge, the darker, you know, darker character of Edge versus Finn Balor's Demon in a Hell in the Cell. Could be good. Could be really good. I I don't think it's good enough to like main event night one. Um, I don't think that's what'll happen, and so it'll probably have to be somewhere in the middle of the card. Give them time to like lower and raise the Hell in the Cell. But I don't know. I don't know. It could technically open night two. Also, this is another one that could open night two, but I don't think so. I think it'll be like somewhere in the middle. I guess. And I think that if they really do Finn Balor as the demon, I mean, he's got to win, right? Like, you got to push him strong anyways. Most likely he's winning regardless to push him strong and be possibly a title contender. Um, but I mean, there's the nostalgia of Edge. Edge doesn't have a lot longer left to wrestle. Nostalgia of him winning one of his last WrestleMania matches, if not his last one. I'm assuming he'll be there next year, but you know, but yeah, I think that Finn Balor wins this match, and I think he wins it strong, and it's as the Demon, and then he goes on possibly directly to challenge for a world title, if not to like a mid feud to move into that spot. But yeah, Finn Balor I think is going to win this match. Let's see. Oh, they predicted Edge. I get that. This isn't one of my like for sure picks because I could definitely see them going for Edge is on his way out. He's not ready to retire just yet, but this is gonna be one of his last big matches, so maybe give him the win. But I don't think so. They really would just be like almost giving up on Finn Balor at that point. But I mean they've done it before, so so yeah, I still go with Finn Balor. Bleacher Report goes with Edge. All right, the one of the most pointless matches of the night: Brock Lesnar versus almost. um, I mean, Brock Lesnar is going to win this match. There's almost no reason this match is happening other than to let Brock Lesnar get a win. He needs one if they want to keep him wrestling. Um, if he loses, maybe he's really retiring, but I don't think so. Um, I think he doesn't wrestle very often as it is. He doesn't really need to retire, um, and they just wanted to get him on the card, and this is the one where he's most likely going to win. So it's almost 100% sure he wins unless they really want to push almost, but he's not really good enough to push. And honestly, they haven't been pushing the Giants like they used to, So I just really don't think it's just going to be an impressive win, for Brock. He's going to do some feat of strength or something impressive type win. Um, but I mean, there's a slight possibility he almost wins. I read somewhere that you could see Brock Lesnar taking MVP as his manager advocate. That could be fun. That could be interesting. But I think I'd rather see the Hurt Business get back together. And Brock Lesnar is probably not going to be part of the Hurt Business. Let's be real. So yeah, I think Brock Lesnar wins this match. Yep. Bleacher Report also agrees. Okay, Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. I don't know why I'm having such problems saying Trish Stratus. I never used to. Anyways, Trish Stratus. Um, I think that unless they're breaking up Damage Control, which is possible, it really hasn't been that great of a team. Like it was a pretty awesome debut, but it really hasn't been that great of a team. They haven't been booked strong. I could see them breaking them up. But I don't think they will, and if they aren't, then I think they kind of need to win. Um, But I mean, you got to have those feel good moments throughout the night, and Lita and Trish getting a win at WrestleMania again. So I'm almost 50-50 on this. Um, Let me go. You know what? Yeah, break up damage control. We're going to get this nostalgia win. And then that kind of actually makes a little bit more sense. They win. And then Ronda and Shayna come out and challenge them for the next night to a women's championship match. And then we see Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler go against Becky Lynch and Lita. And I think as long as Ronda's healthy enough, win and become the new women's tag team champions. That's what I'm seeing happen. Let's see, what does Bleacher Report say? They also think that Lita, Trish, and Becky are going to win. Okay. All right. Bianca Belair versus Asuka is the better of the women's championship matches, I think. I'm really excited about Rhea Ripley. Don't get me wrong, but I think this should be a great match. It's just had a terrible push, so it's not going to main event night one. It's just not. It's just hasn't been that great of a build, and I think Bianca drops the title. So you also don't want. I mean, they're not. Asuka's not a bad guy per se. They're both kind of good guys, baby faces as it were. But I think that Asuka's going to wrestle this match more as the heel, more as the bad guy, and I think she wins. Bianca Belair has had a great title run, but I think it's time for it to be over. And Asuka can rise to the top again for a while because it's been a minute and she deserves it. I just think she's great. I love Bianca Belair. She's actually my favorite female wrestler. Actually, it's really tough because I do really like Rhea Ripley a lot. I think she's great. Um, so these three, really honestly, these three are kind of all up there. Not a huge fan of the whole Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bailey tier of wrestlers. They're good, and but I don't want to see them as champions right now. I want to see these new female wrestlers as champions. And so yeah, so Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Asuka are three of my favorites. Are my three favorite. And so I could see it kind of going either way. Maybe they do want to have um, Bianca have a longer title run, but I don't think so. I think this is Asuka's night. I'm gonna pick her, not 100%, but I'm gonna pick Asuka. And yeah, they Bleacher Report also picks Asuka. All right, tag team match: Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. This has been one of the best builds ever. They are going to have a great match. They're going to main event night one. That's what I believe, and it should main event night one. And Sami Zayn and KO are going to win this match. There's just almost no chance that the Usos are going to win this match. They've had a great run as tag team champions. They will be tag team champions again after they split the titles, I think, and that's part of my predictions of what happens moving forwards. They'll be tag team champions again at some point, unless they have specifically Jay, but both of them go on and do singles wrestling for a while. But I think they come back together as tag team champions at some point in time down the line. Anyways, KO, Sami Zayn are winning this for sure. I'm almost 100% on that one. And yep, that's what Bleacher Report also says. Main events night one, great feel good moment, which kind of leaves night two in question. And oh wait, no, we have Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wins this match, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. They are not going to have Charlotte Flair win this match. Um, if they did, it was because they wanted to flip her back to heel and like really have her do like her annoying heel run again, but she keeps flopping back and forth. And it's Rhea Ripley's time. She's the right one. She's the best. And yeah, Rhea Ripley's winning this match, and it's not main eventing night one either. Yep, Bleacher Report agrees. Rhea Ripley is winning the match. I don't know about where they think it's going to be on the card, but I don't think it's going to main event night one. I don't think it's going to open either nights either. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. I think both women's tag team matches, or both women's matches, all of the women's matches are going to be somewhere in the middle of the card, which is really unfortunate because we've seen some really good women's matches open and close big events lately or over the last couple of years, but they just didn't build either one of these quite right. So, okay, Ripley wins the title. Oh yeah, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Um, yeah, I'm torn on this one. I think I'm going with Seth Rollins. I think they're going to build him up for another title run. Again, splitting the titles, I do believe. I don't think they'll have him wrestle Cody Rhodes again. I really don't. Um, I hope they don't, anyways. Um, Split the titles, have Seth Rollins go for the other title. He may not win it first, but he's definitely going to be a world title world champion again, maybe even this year sometime. So I think Seth Rollins wins this match. Um, it'll be fun to watch Logan Paul get beat as the bad guy. Everybody will sing Seth Rollins' song, and it'll be a fun match because Logan Paul is going to do something that gets himself injured. he, he's an exciting wrestler. Um, does moves really well. Maybe not always the safest wrestler for himself. Mostly, I haven't seen him do anything to really like hurt anybody else. But yeah, he is willing to injure himself. um, it'll be a fun match. I'm excited to watch it. But yeah, it's got to be Seth Rollins. Could be Logan Paul though. Could. I'm not 100%. Bleacher Report thinks Rollins also. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting matches. John Cena versus Austin Theory. That's why I have the list in front of me. John Cena versus Austin Theory. It has to be Austin Theory, right? Austin Theory has to win this match. I do believe. I believe Austin Theory wins this match. Um, for the nostalgia pop, I guess you could get John Cena in there and have him win this match, but does he have the room in his schedule to defend it? That's the makes it the easiest to just say no, he's not going to win this. But I mean, I could see him trying to do another little run, maybe not all the way to like SummerSlam, but maybe for a couple months, take some time off from filming, or maybe he has a window in his schedule so he can dedicate a month or two to wrestling. Lose it in one of the next couple of pay-per-views. But no, I don't think so. I think Theory's going to win this. John Cena is going to pass that baton. I think he's getting really close to really retiring. It'll be one of those things again where he could wrestle matches, um, from time to time. But like, I mean, officially retiring and getting put into the Hall of Fame is probably coming sooner rather than later for John Cena. And I think he loses this match. And yeah, Theory retains. So Bleacher Report also agrees. And then the last official match, we'll talk about some other stuff here in a minute. Last official match is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. This has had a pretty good build. Cody Rhodes had that unfortunate injury. Otherwise, I think the year would have played out a little bit different. But him winning the Royal Rumble and getting the main event WrestleMania and getting to go against the um, unified champion is kind of like a really good story. And I don't think they're going to mess this one up. I think they're going to have Cody Rhodes win this match. Um, some caveats though. Roman Reigns is really close to 1,000 days. And I think they're telling us that for a reason. I think they're telling us that to put doubt, because it's almost a sure thing that Cody Rhodes is going to win this, and finally dethrone Roman Reigns. But they want us to have some doubt so that, we're not just like sure that that's what's happening. And so saying Roman Reigns is really close to that 1,000-day mark, I think is kind of like for that. Not so much so that he makes it to the 1,000-day mark, but just to give us some doubt, make it kind of interesting. Maybe Roman Reigns is going to pull one more out, right? But I don't think so. I don't think he's going to win this match, and I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. What I think could happen, though, and I would rather them do this on the following Monday Night Raw, right? Um, Cody Rhodes wins. He's celebrating. He's the unified champion. Close out WrestleMania. That's how it ends. Big, huge celebration for Cody Rhodes finally doing it, right? Finishing his story, as it were. Monday Night Raw. He comes out to celebrate with the crowd, opening up the show. Out comes Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman says, congratulations on finally beating, finally finishing the story, beating Roman Reigns, getting the titles. But about that, the contract I made sure was just for the WWE Championship. So you're going to have to give that Universal Championship back. It's going back to Roman Reigns, who then will be able to move forward as the Universal Champion, get to that 1,000-day mark, and then drop that title to Seth Rollins or to who else was I thinking should be pushed up into the main event scene? Someone else, right? um, Someone other than Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes will remain the WWE champion. Roman Reigns will be the Universal Champion until after the 1,000 days, so he gets that 1,000-day mark because that's it, the 1,000 days is on the Universal Championship. He wasn't the United or the Unified Champion for 1,000 days. I think that would be fun. Um, they've got to split the title somehow. Having Cody Rhodes lose it seems not like the best way to go. So having Roman Reigns just take it back due to an issue with the contract seems like a good way to go. The other way to go is just have Triple H finally say, you know what, I'm splitting these titles up. You're gonna have to let go of one of the titles, have a tournament, and a new world champion and new tag team. The same thing would happen with the tag team champions. Take one of the tag team belts off of Sami Zayn and KO, and have a tournament for the other title. Tournaments are great. I definitely want to see that for the tag team champions, but I kind of like this method better for the world champion. Just have Roman Reigns just take it back, just be the biggest heel jerk ever, and have him lose it after the 1,000-day mark, so he gets to do that 1,000-day thing. Ooh, it'll be great. Let's do that. But either way, I'm saying Cody Rhodes wins the night of WrestleMania, and Bleacher Report also agrees. What else could possibly happen? We don't have Bobby Lashley on the show. Bobby Lashley is in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal at this point. He should be. Oh, let me pause. Sorry about that. Had a phone ringing. Okay, so I think that Bobby Lashley needs to be on the show. Right now, he's in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. He could win that, and then go on to WrestleMania and do a call out, and someone could come out and challenge him. A couple different good options for that. Could be LA Knight, because LA Knight also should be on the show and is talking about calling people out. It could be LA Knight comes out, answers the challenge, and they both get their match. It could be he could get added to the Brock Lesnar almost match after winning the Battle Royal. Who else could answer the match? Randy Orton, I heard, is going to be there, is ready to return. I think he's more likely for Monday Night Raw, but they could have him answer the call out, and wrestle Bobby Lashley. AJ Styles is kind of the same thing. He could come out. One of the new wrestlers that they may be picking up pretty soon, like a Jay White or something like that. But what I really think is going to happen is he's not going to win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. He's going to get eliminated by, say, LA Knight, and then they have maybe they eliminate each other, maybe something happens and they get into a scuffle, and then they both get a match at WrestleMania. I think there's room for another match, and I think it's going to definitely involve Bobby Lashley somehow, and then probably LA Knight. That's what I think is going to happen. Um, I just I just feel like they can add another match or two to the WrestleMania card, and it wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too long or bloated, and he should be added. Another possibility is that Bray Wyatt is healed up and um, not sick or whatever is going on with him, and he could come out and cost him the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, and then they have a match at WrestleMania. That's a possibility. Um, but then LA Knight, where's he in this whole thing? They could be added to other matches. Could make the Intercontinental Championship a four-way, that sort of thing. But both of those guys should probably be on the WrestleMania show somewhere. I could see LA Knight not, and more likely than Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley has to be somehow, um, but but I think both of them should be. And so, if neither of them win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, who wins that this Friday? Who else is in that? Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, I think, is who I think wins that if like say Lashley doesn't win it and use that to go on to WrestleMania. I see Bronson Reed as being a good winner for it. Kind of carry that moving forward as his little gimmick. Um, but there's a couple other people in there that could possibly take it. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, I think this has gone on way longer than I expected, so I'm gonna let it go on that note. I'm excited. I'll do a follow-up video about WrestleMania. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna do one each night. I might do one for each night, and then Monday Night Raw. I think I'll do maybe even SmackDown. I don't want to do like a regular do one for every wrestling show, but following WrestleMania, definitely the Raw is kind of a big deal. SmackDown might be pretty good. I kind of want them to just like make the shows separate again. Like instead of like having people come back and forth, splitting the titles kind of does that for me. Um, and so I don't think we need to watch both shows, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good day.